Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's SoulSaint here, and we got a banger of a video coming up for you. So, it has been about a week now since we started, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a very interesting week for me because we've been preoccupied with the whole free-to-play challenge, which I'll be doing separate videos on at a later date about some things we got for updates and whatnot. But I did want to do like a check back, basically like kind of like a check-in with where we are at when it comes to our main accounts, and just so you guys are aware, I'm gonna be trying to do some parallels between free-to-play as well as my currently main account and anything that's currently going on in the series of events for Raid as of now. So we are in the thick of things when it comes to Zinogre Blade Masters Fragment event, and I'm not gonna lie, I think we are currently in the middle of, it's Monday, right? So we're currently in the middle of Classic Arena, Ice Golem, Artifact Enhancement, and of course Dungeon Divers event number 2, which just started. So I actually waited to do my Ice Golem while I waited for Dungeon Divers to kind of open up. Remember I was saying I was going to double dip or triple dip as much as I could? Well, we did. And I want to jump in game and kind of show you guys exactly where you guys should be at. So if you are currently active and you're playing alongside the tournaments and events that are active or that were active, you should roughly be in the range of like 50 to 55. And the reason why is, with everything all out, like basically all acclimated or accounted for, you should pretty much be there. Now, I haven't got my last 5 fragments for the currently active events that have occurred or is occurring, right? So why do I have 55? I'm on the higher end. Well, believe it or not, in our most recent experience, I believe it was for the champion training, I did go as high as I could for the last reward, which is a mythical ore. And I somehow was able to place in second. I don't know if you guys see it right there. I got 1,500 points, a little bit over that. I was doing a little bit miscellaneous stuff here and there, and of course I got some extra points along the way, but it wasn't a primary focus for me. Like I did, basically, because we have like a lot of downtime in between some of these events, currently, let me go back to the calendar, like there's a little bit of like a gap in between, like where you, once you finish everything you need, you kind of have like a little bit extra time, and I'm kind of in that same pathway right now where like, I'm already done with Ice Golem, I'm already done with Classic Arena, I'm in the middle of Dungeon Divers, which I can wait for Thursday to hit so I can join in on Fire Night to grab a little bit more there and kind of do 2 in the same time, and that should clear it up roughly, right? Well, I was just chilling, you know, so I ended up throwing my, a couple champions that I'm, you know, working on for Centranos. I threw them inside the Minotaur farm area, so we've been farming Minotaur and just letting that cook, you know, and they also get levels, because what I do is I take my champions that I am going to take to 6-star and I'm going to invest a lot of resources towards. I get them to 6-star, and then I start farming their masteries and their levels at the same time, so kind of like a little double dip there while I'm working towards building them up, right? So, that kind of helped me towards taking my 6 stars, the value of that, and compressing that into basically, or converting that into champion training points. So I got a little bit more extra along the way, and sure enough, we ended up getting second place, so I ended up getting 5 extra. So what does this mean for me? And to be honest with you, I don't know if anything really per se changes as of right now, because I have done the summon rush. I don't have to participate in the champion chase. That was already kind of a no-brainer, right? But if they have really good events that co-align with me wanting to pull shards, maybe we dip a little bit into there, I still have that 5 left over excess that I got from the tournament. Now, as of right now, I was thinking about just shaving off on the tail end, whether it's Dungeon Divers number 3 or Artifact Enhancement number 3. Maybe I want to save some silver, maybe I save some energy. It really depends on what I'm looking to save there. I think I probably will end up doing Dungeon Divers event number 3 naturally, because I'm doing Spider Tournament or Fire Night Tournament. So I'm leaning more towards Artifact Enhancement 3 kind of getting, you know, left by the wayside, and I'll still get my 100. But depending on scenarios, like I am kind of busy, so this is kind of like a happy accident in a sense. I am kind of busy working on the free-to-play account, so in the event that I have something I just so happen to miss, or, you know, we're human, right? So we sometimes may forget to do something. I'm going to try not to, but in the event I don't, I still have that in the barrel as like a crutch. All right, maybe I dropped this one, maybe I got to just do the rest now, but I had that little bit of extra room to play with. So very relaxed so far in terms of like my progression state when it comes to this event, and we're just kind of on a pace right now. I'm just pacing myself. I'm not going aggressive. It's even got to the point now where if you look in game, I'm literally just using regenerative energy for miscellaneous stuff. Now, mind you, I'm also in the middle of you know, the pre-CVC Mondays, which are just atrocious. I hate these days, literally, where we just stockpile on resources and wait for Tuesday morning, and then we just start cranking out points for CVC purposes to get a win, right? Well, we're going to kind of like slow it down a little bit. We're going to kind of relax, and I'm just going to use a little bit of regenerative energy here and there, and then we'll just let it translate over into CVC day, and then we'll go in and kind of clean it up. But with that being said, there's not really many overlapping events that are currently active, so I'm kind of I'm kind of just on standby, to be real with you. So I think during Tuesday and Wednesday, give or take, depending on what we got for circumstances, maybe I build up Rathalos so we do a video on it, or maybe I do a showcase on another champion that you guys like to see, or maybe a lot of you guys went for. So we'll kind of play it by ear, and I'll let you see that when the day comes out. But with that being said, we do have a little bit of time to work with. So I look at these moments as like moments like, all right, what do I need for my account right now? Well, working on champions is always a thing that I could always do, especially for Centrano, since we've had a lot of things kind of come up and occur that require us to invest more into champions we normally wouldn't. I could also work towards some areas that I don't normally get to farm a lot of, like Phantom's Grove, Phantom Shoguns, or Sand Devils to maybe get some more oils and dust to maybe work on some more pieces of gear, optimize some builds a little bit more. I thought about all of that. So, like, basically, these next couple days, depending on how the terrain of CVC, as well as my own resources, how I'm acquiring them, how that progresses, I pretty much am just going to pace myself and just do something natural. And maybe farm a little bit in the Dungeon Divers passively, not too aggressively, to get myself closer to completing it. So by the time we get to Fire Night and we start ripping into Fire Night tournament, Dungeon Divers 2 is safely secure. So I'm looking at doing that as like my pacing aspect of things. Now, champion training also does start on Wednesday. This is kind of like that little sneaker that could kind of catch you slipping, right? So on Wednesday, I think this is where we're going to shift our focus, or basically follow suit with our focus, where we're farming, masteries and whatnot with some champions while gaining some levels. That might still be present here, but we'll start paying a little bit more effort towards like securing champion training as these next days come along. Maybe when we don't even worry about Fire Night until we get into like the closer period of Saturday, and then we throttle with Dungeon Divers 3 and Fire Night tournament to finish Fire Night, and then finish the last little bit with Spider tournament going into DD3 and finishing that out, right? So it's basically just making sure I'm staying on top of stuff. We're tracking all the events. We're kind of making a plan, and then from there, we're going to execute as the day comes along. So, with that being said, let me know how you guys going. Are you guys still involved in the Zinogre fusion event? If so, are we on pace? Are we ahead? Did you end up scoring an extra 10 instead of 5? If so, then you know what, you're doing better than me. But with that being said, just let me know how you guys doing. And with that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember, stay ascended.